Model airport ground mats. I have always had a bit of an opinion about them in model airport reviews. They are cool, but they don't have a special twist and sometimes simply a plain plug and play airport mat, which looks a bit boring without any personal twists added. But here is the catch: I have never had or tested an airport mat myself. Therefore today I will be trying a airport mat for the very first time. Let's see if it changes my opinion about them. Here's the AircraftModelStore Scale Paper Airport Mat, fitted for both the 1-400 and 500 scales. This mat was sent to me for free by AircraftModelStore UK, and I will share it with you guys and give my honest opinion about it. All relevant links are down below in the description. The mat is printed on high quality paper, A0 size or 119 by 85 centimeters. It is not too big nor too small, and therefore it has space to park up to 13 aircraft models, 5 wide bodies and 8 narrow body aircraft. And like I said, it's built for both the 1-500 and 1-400 scale, though today I will only fit my 1-400 scale aircraft models on there. The ground mat is compactly foldable and it comes with a very nice box, in which you can store the mat when you don't use it. The first time I took the airport mat out of the box, I was very impressed by its quality. It's a very high quality durable material, kind of comparable to a board game like Monopoly, but then a bit higher quality. I was afraid that the fold lines where the different plates come together would be very visible, but I was wrong. The fold lines are barely visible, which I honestly did not expect, so they've done a really great job on that. Also, the quality of the print is highly detailed, durable and probably very long lasting. When we take a look at the layout, we see a runway covering one side of the airport. On the other side are all of the wide body stands, and in the middle are all of the narrow body stands. Now let's take a closer look at all of the ground markings. At all of the wide body stands we see these red lines, indicating the area where vehicles cannot park and you are not allowed to enter it when the aircraft engines are running. The tiny red squares on the ground are fuel hydrant pits, where fuel can be extracted from the ground and pumped into the aircraft wing. The ground consists of concrete tiles, on which there is weathering, from the aircraft rubber tires scrubbing over the ground. Then moving on to the narrow body aircraft stands, we see that there are less ground markings. I think this has been done to fit more aircraft stands, so more models on the board, though they could have made more ground markings here. The next cool detail that I like is that the ground has a different tint of grey, a lighter one at the aircraft stands, the taxiway is a darker tint of grey and the runway is the darkest tint of grey. Talking about the runway, we see that it comes with all necessary markings included. Runway number 10, the threshold lines and the first lines of the touchdown zone. Behind those lines there is a lot of weathering around the center line, which I find really cool to see. There has really been an attention to detail when designing all of the ground markings. And as they have been printed with very high quality, I think AMS done an awesome job on that. Next, I'm going to add a few of my models and ground service equipment on the airport to see how it looks like. And whilst I do that, I must admit that my opinion about the airport mats is already a little bit changing. Though I do believe the airport isn't perfect yet. So whilst you see the images here of the airport models and ground service equipment on the airport, let's add my own twist. In terms of buildings and an airport terminal, there isn't really space for it. There is this square in the corner of the airport where you could fit a building, but a large terminal in front of the wide-body section just isn't enough space for. I had actually planned to add modeling grass and lights to the airport, both floodlights and optic fiber lights in the taxiway lights. Though that meant that I would not be able to fold up the airport again, as all of those floodlights would prevent me from doing so. Therefore, I am only going to add modeling grass today, in the area in between the taxiway and runway. Using a scissors, glue stick and a sharp knife, I cut out a piece of the modeling grass and simply stick it down. There are a few methods for this. You can cut the modeling grass into the perfect shape before you stick it down onto your airport, though you can also stick down the piece of modeling grass on your airport and after that, using a sharp knife and a ruler, cut away the excess modeling grass. When sticking down the modeling grass, I had to keep clear of the folding lines, and I think I could have left less space in between the pieces of modeling grass. When you now fold it up, it's a bit thicker, but it still fits nicely into the box to store it. So in the end, I believe it's a pretty fun model airport, on which you can feature a nice amount of model aircraft. It isn't too large nor too small. The airport is great quality, durable and long lasting. The airport layout is great, and the same goes for all of the ground markings. Though I do believe it would be fun to add your own twist to it. By for example adding modeling grass, or if you have a permanent space where you can display the airport, do add the lights or airport buildings. But for the first ever production of these ground mods by AMS, I think they have done a fantastic job. And for a price tag of 43 euros, I think you have a solid deal. So, has my opinion about airport ground mat changed? Yes, they have. Airport mats are great and easy for people that don't have the space to display a model airport permanently or do not want to put much effort into a model airport. Though if you do have a permanent place for a model airport and you have built a mat, give your own twist to it, add modeling grass, add lights, add buildings, as it will look much better. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Let me know down in the comments if you want to see these kinds of reviews more often. Please consider to like and subscribe, and then I will see you in the next video.